With the introduction of Electro, the Rhino, and the new Green Goblin, many fans have wondered if Marc Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man 2 would be too villain-heavy. Webb recently spoke out against this criticism and stated, "We're obviously familiar with the complaints people had. We're very careful to make sure the stories intertwine. For Peter Parker, it's very important that you create obstacles that are difficult to overcome." On the large scale of the production, Webb continued, "I'm going to embrace the spectacle. I'm not going to be beholden to smallness. I want it to be fantastic, to be big, to command and express that feeling when you're a kid and reading the comics. I didn't want to hide or shy away from that." Amy Rose, what do you make of Webb's comments?
I really like Marc Webb. I mean, he's done a good job with the Spider-Man franchise thus far, and 500 Days of Summer. I mean, he's not just restricted to this genre. I think he's very talented. And initially, I did feel like it was being very villain heavy. I mean, we kept hearing all these villains coming from Oscorp, and we're like, okay, who's next? But we've also learned more that the Rhino's only going to be in, 4 minutes of the film, so it seems like they're going to set him up for a bigger presence in the third film. And, also the Green Goblin, I don't think he's going to have a big part in it as well, because part of the story of the Green Goblin that I love so much is the revenge aspect of it, from the succession of father to son. And if they don't show Norman and Chris Cooper kind of, why it's going to go to Dane DeHaan to Harry, I'm going to be a little disappointed because I love that aspect of it. So I think that will start to see the setup there as well. Again, nothing's confirmed on that front yet. I know we're going to start seeing a little of the Green Goblin, but this, I think, is going to be Electro's story for the most part. I mean, they've said Rise of Electro. We're going to hear, the Max background of Jamie Foxx's character and all of that, and he's a great character. So I think they know what they're doing. And this is a comic book movie. It is supposed to be a grand scale, and I really do like what they did with the first film, even though I didn't feel like it brought anything really fresh and original from the Raimi's films, but I think this film is going to. So I have faith in this production team, and I also don't think they're going to be stealing screen time for each other because they admitted that, the Rhino's only in literally 4 minutes. So what do you think, Christian?
It scares me. Yeah, it doesn't. It's because first of all, they're showing way too many trailers, way too many clips. There's been like 6 trailers. I don't know how many trailers, but so much, and each trailer seems like a different movie. There's the Harry Osborn angle. There is the Rhino angle. There is the stuff happened with Gwen Stacy, and then there's the Edward Electro story from, and it's I don't know. I mean, I have faith that I do like Marc Webb very much so, but I think there's way too much going on. Sony already has put so much money in the fact that this is like their franchise. This is all of their Marvel movies. They're branching everything off of Spider-Man. So why not hold some of that if you're going to branch out and make so many movies? This seems like it's compacted. How long's the movie? 6 hours? So I'm skeptical.
Can you imagine if they kept Mary Jane in this too? Whoosh!
Yeah.
8 hours.
What do you think, Mr. Ellis?
I just hope the movie is better than that statement by Marc Webb. Like, I hate that he opened with, "We're familiar with everybody hating on the movie so far." Like, don't acknowledge that right off the bat, that you're familiar with all these complaints that fans are having. I'm fine with having a lot of villains in the movie if they do it in the way that we get to see Spider-Man versus Electro, and then we get to meet these other people, and you have that brooding backstory with the Goblins that's going to kind of permeate through a trilogy, and then maybe the Rhino gets set up for the next one. But you can't make the same mistake that they did in Spider-Man 3, where it's like you introduce these villains, and then you kill them off before we even get a chance to know him and hate him. Like, I didn't even hate Venom. I didn't get to know the guy enough to despise him.
You are.
So I still hated him.
Like
Topher Grace was ridiculous. Yeah. Just saying.
I like his statement, except for the smallness. That made me laugh. It's like, that's a weird way of saying it. But and also the picture is disconcerting. It looks like Wolverine slashed his face. Just that photo they decided to pick. But the thing that I'm looking forward to is the introduction of all these villains. It doesn't bother me because they're doing it organically all through Oscorp. So it seems like the Rhino and all the other iterations, like the Vulture and Dr. Octopus, you saw like that preview of it's all coming from one source, which is Oscorp.
I think it feels rushed when you see the trailer, because in the trailer, they're trying to sell the movie to everybody. I don't think that a lot of fans are going to be like, well, I didn't get to see the Rhino, so I'm not going to see this movie now. But in a trailer in 2 minutes, they want to show as much as possible, and I get that. But I also get that it makes fans nervous because they didn't get to see the whole movie yet. So I have faith in Marc Webb. I love the first movie. I think it's going to work just fine, but I understand why people are like, that it looks like a lot of stuff, because we've been down this road so many times with superhero movies, overblowing it and having too much in there.
Sure.
And I am excited to see more of the Gwen and Peter relationship. Like, that is my favorite relationship in comics.
I want villains. I don't want relationships.
Come on. See,
Yes,
that's why you're single, buddy.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.